not been here in a couple meetings, so I wanted to come out and say hello to everyone like I do. For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm your community-based officer for Redondo Beach PD. I do all community engagement, outreach, and some other administrative things that are boring. Nothing new to announce. We hired a new chief of police. As you know, Joe Hoffman retired in December, and Steve Springle is our new chief of police, and he is busy at work. Him and two of our captains are over in DC for Police Week this week, where they make all sorts of good connections out there as far as admin stuff goes, but I don't get paid enough to worry about that. So this Friday we are graduating class 53 from our Citizens Police Academy. If you've ever, raise your hand if you've been in the Citizens Academy.
05.
Not enough.
We're gonna change that.
You won't regret it. We are having another blood drive in July. I'd like to thank you guys for helping me get to my new record of 100 in January, so bravo. That's 300 lives. And we're going for 150 in July.
Whoa.
So be ready for that. I don't know if I'll sell my soul like I did last time and offer to go on stage again, but I will pester you for your blood.
When is the next police academy?
Our next Citizens Police Academy begins in the last week of August, and I will be opening registration in June. And this class actually was probably I usually get about 20 applicants, but this last class had 23, and I have a large list of emails that I will be emailing come the new registration time. So if you're interested, I'm going to leave this here. Just take a picture of that and send me an email. I'm just leaving one, so take a picture of it because I'm getting in trouble with the print shop for needing too many business cards. Other than that, we day in and day out continue our efforts to keep everybody safe in all the ways that they care about a lot. You guys care about many different things, and we try and do all those different things every day. So that will do it for me. I'll be here for a little while longer if anyone wants to chat. I know some of you guys like to talk about e-bikes. So, enjoy.
Okay, thank you, Officer Kyle. All right, so our presentation today is from two different perspectives. One is the perspective of what the sponsor likes to see to sponsor events and why they sponsor events. And the other perspective is why you want to have events to drive business or attendance or whatever your goals are. So first we'll start off with Paris Chevalier, who introduced herself as the CEO of South Bay Credit Union and a longtime sponsor of all things NRBBA. We're very, very grateful, but South Bay Credit Union, you'll see them all over the community because they're huge community advocates. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to run this from here. So yes, thank you for having us. I'm Paris Chevalier with South Bay Credit Union. Obviously, we have our Frank and Gladys from South Bay Credit Union. We have 25 employees. We have 2 branches. We're in Redondo Beach on Artesia and Blossom, and then also we have one on PCH near Redondo Union, and we have one in Lomita. We are definitely a community financial institution. We have 25 employees. I would say 20 to 22 live in the South Bay, so we really take it seriously, and we really love this community, so thank you for having us today. Okay, so events. Spoiler alert, events and sponsorships are the keys for us. We are a small local credit union. Having these partners, and it's funny I'm looking at Laura, so we'll get to Laura, local anchor as well, is a huge part of what we do. We couldn't grow the way we're growing without sponsors, and we love these local events. They bring us to things like this morning's breakfast, but really, we really do love being part of the community. It's our field of membership is the South Bay, so while you might think that's just the beach cities, we go all the way up to Culver City, Carson, Gardena, all the way down to San Pedro. So all over the South Bay, anybody who lives, works, or worships can join South Bay Credit Union. We are a not-for-profit, so we're not a non-profit, but not-for-profit. So every dollar we make goes back to our members in forms of lower loan rates and higher savings rates. So while, you know, we spend money on these sponsorships, they do help us grow, and we do get our money by lending money out to our members. And so as a not-for-profit financial cooperative, we are not owned by stockholders, so it's really our members. So if you're a member of the credit union, you have a vote, so that's very exciting for us. And let's see. Okay, so how do we compete? That's the part that for us is this membership. Really just starting to have our sponsors, these events. Spring Fest is a great event. I'm sure we saw all of you there. We have booths at all of these events. And I'm gonna make this bigger because my eyes can't see, sorry. Okay, now I can actually read what we're saying. We do have target markets, right? So we're trying to get young people, we're trying to get families, we're trying to get those who've maybe succeeded in their life, and they're just trying to find a place to save their money. So what are those community areas that we can target those folks? And one of our goals is to empower members to live better and do better. And then we're like humans, we're human beings. Money's a big deal. Money's a big deal to us. It's a big deal to you. So really just leaning into that. Sorry, I feel like I'm jumping up here. So where do events fit in? It really is in the South Bay community. We really are invested in this area. If you look around, you'll see us. Hopefully we feel like we're everywhere. We're in Little Leagues, we're in basketball courts, but we're also in North Redondo. We're at the farmer's market. I heard about the community museum yesterday, and I was very excited about that. So there's a lot that's happening here in the South Bay, and we want to be a part of it. We want these one-on-one engagements with these events, so it really gives us an opportunity to speak one-on-one with folks who are coming to our table. We were just at the South Bay Botanic Gardens this week. We got to see hundreds of people and talk to them about what do they need, what do they want, and having those authentic events where we can talk one-on-one is super exciting for us. What's that formula? It aligns with our brand values, our brand identity of who we are. We really are that local, trusted financial institution here in the South Bay. We want to make sure that our partnerships make sense with the products and services we offer. It gives us extended promotional opportunities to deliver value added for our investment. Plus, we are able to engage our team members. So we do have a bonus structure, and part of our bonus is every one of our employees needs to volunteer a certain amount of hours per quarter. Why is that great for us? Because we need people to man the booth. But it also gives them their feeling of belonging, making sure that they're part of the community, making sure that they're giving back. So that's a big deal for us as well. All right, so NRBBA, as we mentioned, presenting sponsor of Spring Fest. My favorite day of the year is down around our t-shirt because the food's so amazing and cannot eat enough. And then now the farmer's market, we're so excited. Our marketing manager, I think, kind of stocked the farmer's market so that, so we appreciate that. And we were kind of like, oh gosh, another thing, because we have one marketing person and myself, and we're like, another thing. And she's like, no, we really have to do this. It's going to make sense. It fits with us. So we're super excited to be part of the farmer's market. We're happy to have you. Thank you.
Just a point of clarification, though, is the farmers market is not NRBBA. It's its own nonprofit. It's called Our NRB. And NRBBA is also a sponsor, but South Bay Credit Union was the very first founding sponsor, so that's great.
Yay. Well, and it's so funny. And that's the thing is, like, because our marketing manager lives in North Redondo Beach, she was like adamant, and if there were some eye rolls and I was one of them, I was like, ah. And it's been great. It's been wonderful. We're so excited to see it. There was a post on social media from the first ribbon cutting, and that's the most likes we've ever seen on any of our social media. So. Local anchors, so Laura's here. That's been another one of our huge sponsorships. So we do these camp fairs, and we're sponsors, and we have our tables there. Taste of South Bay, we have these, or I say we, she has family music days, and we're present there. But again, like, and then she puts social media content together, and then we put it out as collaborators. Our social media, I think in the last 30 days, it's had 280,000 views. Before we partnered with some of these events with the local anchor, we were at 1,000. Like, it's really made a huge difference for us. We also, with local anchor, do the Valentine's Day Kindness Project, where that's one of my favorite days, so people can write cards to first responders, nurses. They put them in a mailbox in our branches, so then it drives business into our branches as well, so that's also very helpful. And then we do a food drive for Community's Child in partnership with local anchors. So these partnerships really do give us eyes, but it's also, we're not doing anything that we don't believe in, right? So we're living our dream of really trying to empower folks to live better. One of our other favorite days is Lemonade Day with the Lomita Chamber of Commerce. So it's an annual program that encourages young entrepreneurs to bring their business ideas to life. So in the city of Lomita, I believe this year it's on July 18th. There'll be 35 to 40 lemonade stands all over Lomita, and it's like a really great day. So anywhere you go, you see these lemonade stands. People are walking all over. And on that day, we decided to launch our Member Appreciation Day because you have so many people out in the community. So tying our Member Appreciation Day gets our members to all come out, and then they see Lemonade Day, which is where it all kind of ties back together. One of the other things we do with Lemonade Day is we provide microloans for our students. So almost like a Shark Tank, kids come in, they have a whole presentation, they have samples of their lemonade, they present to us, and then we give them a loan, usually for about $100. They sign a paper that they'll pay it back. Usually they don't pay it back, and we don't require them to, as long as they have their membership. But
What are the ages of the entrepreneurs?
usually 5 to 13.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and in the city of Lomita, so Lemonade Day is a national program that's put out. The city of Lomita has won twice the national award. So their one lemonade person 2 times has won the national award. So it's a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a picture of the Shark Tank setting where they give their whole pitch, do a mock loan application. And then we also provide financial education to them about the importance of money, lending, credit, and things along those lines. That's a picture here of our Member Appreciation Day. And then they have the Levy Awards for the most outstanding young entrepreneurs of the year, and we also sponsor that as well. So, and again, it's not a big dollar investment, but all of this gets us in front of the community, gets us excited about sharing with the youth. And then our newest partnership is with the South Coast Botanic Garden. This is really fun. Like, I love the Botanic Garden. It's beautiful, it's relaxing. And then they have these big events. So right now they have trolls. There are 12 huge trolls throughout the South Coast Botanic Gardens. And then they have SOAR, which is their butterfly presentation. So, okay, how does that tie to a credit union? Well, what we've done with this partnership is it gave us, I think, 15 activations. So we could be on site 15 days. And we started talking about it in the fall. And the person we were talking to said, hey, you know, Mother's Day is our biggest day of the year. It'd be great if you could come out and do something. We don't know what we're going to do. And we're like, oh yeah, we could totally have a photo booth. So 6 months ago, we were like, it'll be great. She said, families are dressed alike. It's so cute, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, okay, what can we do to make it interesting? So then we brought a photo booth. All of the photos were co-branded with South Bay Credit Union and the Botanic Garden. And we had to have talked to over 500 people that day. But all of that, again, ties back to it's South Bay, it's local, it's families, it's what we're trying to attract. So.
Have you done dog Sunday?
Not yet. I'm going to take my very untrained dog, though. I heard that it's really good.
And also the concert series. You sponsor the concert series.
The concert series is starting. And then Botanic Garden's been really interesting as well because we agreed to a certain amount of things and they keep adding on for us. So of course now I'm like, well, of course we're not going to let that sponsorship go. So if you go to the Botanic Garden, there's like all sorts of signage that has our logo. There's these beautiful glitter wings that you can take your photo next to, and then they put our logo next to that. So those little tidbits make it so attractive for us to continue to have those sponsorships. And also, so another big thing for us is social media. And as I was mentioning with Local Anchor, we have one marketing person and myself are doing pretty much all of it. So really having the website, social media, that to us is like almost more important than some of the other items just because that's an easy way for us to get our name out. Again, we're a small organization, but having that as part of the sponsorship is really huge for us. As mentioned, social media, we really do with these sponsorships see lift in memberships, so it gives us new eyes where people maybe like have driven past us a million times, and they're like, oh, okay, that's the credit union that I drive past all the time. We are trying to make sure that at every event we have appropriate products for the group that are there, so at the Botanic Garden, it's definitely going to be more for savings accounts, so how do we make sure that we have the products and services and the flyers and things along those lines for that. And I feel like I spoke very quickly, but that's gonna.
So I have a question.
Yes.
One of the things that I found is that with sponsorships, it's like instead of just having like one thing that you offer everybody, to have customize and have a conversation. Can you talk about that a little bit more about like a customized sponsorship?
Yes. So, are you saying for the actual event or the sponsorship in general?
In general.
In general.
Like so the audience knows that that's a good strategy.
Yes. So for us, we would say, like some one example of the sponsorship that we didn't particularly get a lot out of it was there was somebody was starting the community theater and they wanted to give us 2 tickets to the event. And for us, that didn't make a lot of sense because that didn't give us any visibility. So we asked, we're like, hey, can we get on your social media? And then they kind of customized that to us because to us that was much more important. I would say for us, social media, website presence, and then in-person activations are kind of where our happy spot is. That helps us because we really want our people out in the community, and we want those social media is a big one for us.
Does anyone else have questions?
Are your members all individuals, or do you support businesses as well?
We support businesses as well. I'm looking at, so Frank is our EVP/Chief Risk Officer, but yes, we do support businesses as well.
We have our account.
Yeah, NRBBA's account is
Well, and I know we're streaming, so I shouldn't say that loud. Right now, we don't actually charge for business accounts, which is nobody else in the community does that. So our business,
And no minimum.
and no minimum, yeah,
That's a big deal.
yeah.
big deal.
For
And-
personal accounts too, no minimum.
And everything, I will say, I am a big user of our accounts. This is my 4th credit union I've worked at. I have accounts at all the others too. Our stuff is really easy to do online. You don't ever have to come into a branch, but if you do come into a branch, the good news is you will actually see the same people because we are at all the branches. We do have 3 branches. So the 3 of us are on the exec team, and we don't have desks. Like we go between the 3, but our front line is kind of where the focus is making sure that they have everything they need, and we just are very mobile. So you will find us at any of the branches.
Any other questions?
Okay, so now I call Robin the secret weapon of NRBBA. She does serve as our vice president, and she is our amazing board member. But we also hire Robin to run 2 of our biggest events, Springfest and Dine Around Artesia. And before Robin started, Springfest was a moneymaker, but it really wasn't sustainable for us to do all the things we want to do in the community. And Dine Around Artesia actually hadn't happened for about 10 years because we needed somebody to lead the effort. And so not only did Dine Around Artesia become a moneymaker, but it's consistently sold out year after year. And by the way, the next Dine Around Artesia, we split it up on Artesia from East and West. The East is July 29th. It's on a Wednesday. And the West is on a Thursday night, and it's August 20th?
Yes.
Yes, August 20th. So those tickets will be going on sale probably within the next couple of weeks, and you'll all receive some notifications about that. Okay, so without any further ado, Robin Garfield with Garfield Consulting.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so how many of you did go to Springfest or saw it? Okay, that's good. So you know what I do, right? Me. Or Dine Around, right? So you've seen some of my events. Actually, though, I love this quote because if I had to sum up events, and I've been an event consultant for about 25 years, it's not all I do. So I do run a nonprofit consulting business. So I work with nonprofits on a variety of things. Events has grown into about 80% of my work. But I also work with nonprofits on strategic planning, program development, pretty much all areas of fundraising. So that's kind of my background. But events I love. for many reasons, because it's kind of what Paris was talking about. You get that connection with people, right, in a different way, and I just love that. So I say people may forget what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. And that's the key to the event. If you can create an event that someone walks out feeling fulfilled, feeling happy, feeling like they made a connection, that you've succeeded, right? That's kind of the ultimate kind of litmus test. So, so just to give you, 25 years of event experience. I've worked in 10 different countries. We can talk about that later. I've done events anywhere from 20 to 20,000, which is Springfest. I also used to do the Palos Verdes Street Fair Music Festival for many years. Every kind of event you can imagine. So, so you don't have to go there. So these are some of the charities I work with. So I am exclusively nonprofit because there are so many nonprofits that need help. And you'll notice kind of a trend, although there are some outliers. Most of the organizations I work with are in some way focused on children. That's kind of a passion of mine, or the environment. And you'll see a lot of education, and the third piece is sustainability, right? It goes along the environment. So you might see that, but that being said, the business community has become a third area of focus since I've been at NRBBA and really tried to develop that as well. So you may know some of these. And I've also led and been executive director of some different organizations. So this is just a fun slide. So the fun part of my job is I get to meet and work with some really cool celebrities. This is only a handful of them, but you may notice a few that you know. So Kevin Millen's very fun. But, so was Rainn Wilson. I like funny people. That's why I like Kyle. So this is just a couple of events that I've done. Actually, this one happened 2 weeks ago. It's called A Taste of Culver. So I'm telling you what you don't know. A Taste of Culver City, 1,000 people, Amazon Studios, sold out event. We bring in restaurants, people come, they get a taste, and it's for the Culver City Education Foundation. I've been doing that event now 5 years. Keeps growing each year. A really phenomenal group to work with, and it just keeps getting better and better, and it's a beautiful setting. So that's always a fun event for me to do. I didn't finish this slide, but I worked for an organization for many years called HOBY, Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership. You may remember Hugh O'Brien if you're of a certain age. Sorry. He was Wyatt Earp on TV. He started this youth foundation that's actually international, and that was one of the galas. Anyway, I meant to put more photos, sorry. Last year, I did a gala for the California Women's Law Center, and very fun event, raised a few $100,000 for them. And we honored different people. This is the executive director, Nicole Whiteman, of the Dodgers Foundation, so we had some cool bobbleheads. Anyway, we did. And of course, you all know Springfest. I don't have to go too much into that. So let's talk about why events matter more than ever. So people crave experiences, right? Kind of what I started off with. And events can actually create trust faster than advertising, because someone looks at something, that's great, and you still want to do the traditional advertising because that's important. It's good to get your brand out. But events give you kind of what Paris was talking about, that interaction. You get to tell your story. You get to develop relationships. And relationships are the key to almost every business. So having those in-person opportunities to connect with your audience is so important. It drives loyalty. It generates content. It helps you grow through the community visibility. And brand recall, right? So you want to have that connection. Consumers are more likely to support businesses they experience in person. So really it's a key, right? That's why you hear people do business lunches all the time, right? You want to have that connection with someone. And what better way over food? If you notice, there's a little theme I have with a lot of events. Food, wine, and drinks. But food connects people. Well, that's how you raise the big money, that alcohol. So what they can do for your business, again, just kind of reviewing, brand awareness, foot traffic. So one of the things I really tried to do especially with the dine-around events, why they've become so popular. And actually, I'm doing one right now for the Riviera Village Association. We're sold out, sorry. In Riviera Village, we're doing a dine-around event. And it's ridiculous. We sold out in literally 2 days with almost no advertising. Partly because of what we did up here, but secondly, because people want that. They want to, have that connection. And what's great about the dine-around events is it brings people into or the business itself, right? My taste event, great opportunity for those restaurants, but they're not walking into the actual business, right? So that's the great thing. Generate social media, again, customer loyalty, partnerships. Partnerships are also a really key. So I don't talk too much about sponsorship because Paris really covered a lot of that, but in my opinion, the key to the best sponsors and how to develop the relationships with sponsors is really hearing them, right? What do they need? What can they get out of it? So hearing some of the things that I'm already, like my wheels are turning of what more we can do for South Bay Credit Union. It's not about what they're going to do for us. We know what they're going to do for us. They're going to sponsor our event. But what can we do for them, right? How can we build something that meets their needs, their growth, their interests? So I really look at sponsors as a partnership, not just hand me a check, right? And the more you can build that, the better you will be and the longer term relationships you'll have. It also gives you media and email lists, right? We had some great press coverage this year. That's because of some of the work we did. So what makes
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
On driving foot traffic, could you talk a little bit about what we did this year for Springfest to drive foot traffic into the local businesses?
So this year we had a new, so that was one of the pieces of Springfest we hadn't cracked yet in the 3 years that I've been working on it at least. So this year we did something with local businesses where we did a raffle and free, absolutely free, except for the restaurants gave a gift card. I think, yeah, that was $25 or more, and some gave $100. And all they had to do literally was go into those businesses, fill out the raffle ticket, bring it to Springfest, and drop it in the raffle box. We picked all the winners on stage at the end. So that was it. So what does that do? That was a win-win. One, it got foot traffic into those local businesses, and we hope to expand that next year. Two, it increased our attendance at Springfest. And three, it brings them back to those businesses for the people who won the gift cards, right? So it's that complete full circle. The same thing with Dine Around Artesia, right? One of the components we put in, besides the event itself, is a raffle. And we do a lot of raffle prizes so that people come back into the businesses as well as bounce back offers. So again, it continues to drive traffic well after the event. And that's something businesses are looking for, at least small businesses, I believe. So one of the things I want to point out is you've got to make it fun. What is fun? Food. Food's fun. Drinks are fun, right? Being in your community is fun. Supporting local causes. We often have some partners who are nonprofits. Where does the money go, right? So that's an important piece. We said we fundraise, we make money, but all the money we raise actually goes back into the community through programs for businesses, through funding Redondo Union High School scholarships. This year we are giving out 6 scholarships, $1,000 each, to the high school seniors who are in North Redondo who are focused on business and entrepreneurship as a career. So, or similar, right? So that's one way we give back. We partnered this year with Waterfront Education, and we did a silent auction at the event, and proceeds went to them. So we have a lot of ways that we continue to give back to the community. Those are just a couple of examples, but I think that's really important to know, because then people have trust in you. Okay, well, what are you using the money for, right? Yeah, we're going to go to, lunch. No, that's not what we're doing. Well, we do that too, but not with the money. The other piece I want to talk about is the follow-up. So I mentioned the bounce-back offers and all of that. The follow-up is so key to a successful event, because ideally you want to repeat, right? So what are you doing to capture emails? What are you doing on social media? What are you doing to measure your success. You have to know that going in, whether it's ROI with financial, whether it's other relationships you want to build. You've got to know how that is. So you need to be able to know that going in. Okay, cool. That's quite loud. So partnerships amplify impact. So just thinking about for your own business, what things could amplify your business? Collaborations, so maximize your exposure. Paris talked about that. One of the cool things we get to do for South Bay Credit Union is at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center, the marquee, we were able to put South Bay Credit Union on that. They were the only ones who get on there because they're our presenting sponsor. But wow, talk about brand awareness, because number one, it partners them with us, but do you know how many people go through that intersection every day? I think we have that number, but I can't remember it. But it's hundreds of, it's like 100,000 or something. It's some crazy number, I couldn't believe it. So now times the 30 days that we have it up there, that's a lot, right? And so that's something to think about. Like, how can you use the event to get exposure? Working with other businesses, collaborations, right? Is there another business that might help you get customers and help them get customers, right? Those creative collaborations can really benefit both. So think about who you can partner with. An easy way to do that is things like Dine Around. It's a perfect example. Any business owner at Artesia or any food business, come talk to me. We'll creatively find a way to include you in it. We're opening it up actually to all North Redondo restaurants and food. Even if you're not on Artesia, we still want you to be involved. We'd love to help as many businesses as you can. So we'll figure out how to partner you with a business or give you your own pop-up tent or something, right? I think that's really important. And it, again, gives exposure to your business. Partner with nonprofits. We talked about sponsorship. Influencers are a new thing. Not that new, but that's a good way to get your word out. And schools and community groups. I mentioned scholarships for RUHS. NRBBA also sponsors the Makers Fairs. Thanks to Rachel. There we go. And so we were, I think, one of the first organizations to come on and say, in fact, they're like, okay, what do we do with this money? I literally had a conversation because they're like, I don't know what to do with this money. We don't need it. I'm like, we'll find a way for you to spend it. Don't worry. So, but it's great because we want to be supporting young entrepreneurs. It's part of who we are as a business organization. So, some ideas. Customer Appreciation Night. Pop-up collaboration. Talked about that already. A workshop, a demo, a class, if that fits your business, right? I love that Jay Flowers recently did a flower class. That was so great because it got people into their business. They get to experience it, and then, leave with this wonderful thing. So figure that out. Networking mixers. We do a few a year. We have one coming up soon.
July. We don't have a date.
We don't have a date.
Artesia
in
Bar.
July at the Artesia Bar. If you've ever been curious to go in there, now's your chance. But again, it's those things that help you collaborate. Every single time I'm in a mixer or some kind of meeting like this, I need someone and think of an idea. You can ask a lot of people in here. Or I twist someone's arm to volunteer. One of those things. Be careful. Don't talk to me. But what's great is that's where those collaborations and exciting ideas come from. I already was thinking, when you said photo booth, I was like, why are we not doing a photo booth at Dine Around? Like, right? See? Those where these ideas come from. You hear something and you think of something. Seasonal promotional events, and then be parts of larger events. You don't need a huge budget to create impact. I really want to put that out there because people think, well, I don't have the money to do an event. You don't need to. Again, is there someone you can collaborate with? You collaborate with a restaurant who can do the food. You collaborate with a winery. There's my friend. There she is, right? She'll bring a few bottles of wine. She gets the promotion. You're going to get attacked now that I said that. Sorry. Yeah, so, right? And then you're not paying for it, but they're getting exposure, you're getting exposure. And it doesn't take that much, right? So be thinking in ways creatively that it can have a big impact with very little budget. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions?
No
That
questions.
was so thorough. Wow. Y'all want to be in all the events now, right? Who's going to sponsor everything now? Yeah. for
Talk,
sure.
talk a little bit about what you did with the students this year.
Okay, so kind of one of my passions is education, as I mentioned, why I work with so many education organizations. And I had been volunteering in the business and entrepreneurship class at Redondo last year with Jim, actually, doing something called Project Echo, which is a business plan competition. And my wheels started spinning, and I thought, wow, I wonder if we could do something to engage these students with Springfest. So this year, I've been pretty much every month, sometimes twice, in the business class doing something called Project Springfest. And so I would go in and talk about events and how events are formed and budgeted and all that stuff, and teach about marketing. And 175 kids in the business classes all did something called Project Springfest. So they came up with ideas of how to increase our attendance or increase our revenues at Springfest. So I just put it out there. They come up with some amazing ideas, and a lot of them were implemented at Springfest this year. And it was a great opportunity for them to do firsthand, which most high school students do not get, unfortunately, the chance to work on a real life business challenge with seeing the impact of their work. So we're going to hopefully repeat it again next year. And some of the projects were the silent auction that happened. That all came from a student. Now I can't even think of any of them. Some of them did
The local business.
interviews, the local business raffle, kind of developed from that. Different promotions at farmers markets for the event. So they were it ran the gamut. Our theme for Thursday was Neon Night. That came from some of the students, and we gave out some neon stuff. So just to make it more fun and attract people. So it was really great seeing their ideas come to life and to help develop that. On top of that, we added an internship program that over the course of the whole time, we had 20 interns from 4 area high schools be a part of the event. And again, they were matched with a community committee member, who's a community member, and got to learn firsthand about a different area of the business, which, again, I love that because this is our future, right? If we can educate the youth on this, it'll help develop our whole community in the future.
And also, 1 second, Jim. Also, we had a letter from one of the interns who was so grateful for her experience because the students, like Robin said, don't usually get an experience like that. So a real life experience. And so we'll definitely continue with the internship program and probably with Project Springfest too. Jim.
I think your interest in the students is really great, and giving them a real world experience. That's something that they don't really get in their classes. So the farmers market would offer an opportunity for that, to try out an idea. And maybe the school district or something could think about working with the farmers market to try to do that and help the students get real world business experience.
Let's discuss it. Yeah.
Good idea, Jim.
We can figure that out. Yeah. And we're continuing the intern program actually. So Dine Around, we already have one intern. I may not do 20 again. That was a lot. But we're going to continue giving those opportunities for students, and I think that's great. Bringing on an intern or something bigger. Yeah, for sure. Any other questions? Yeah.
Well, so we were just discussing, so we have space at the credit union, so if you wanted a student-run opportunity at Dine Around, we would give the space, and we would pay for whatever that space would cost.
At the Artesia branch for Dine Around.
Oh, let's talk about that. That's very cool.
Or at the farmer's market if you wanted to put up, or if we can pay for a spot. The credit union will pay for a spot, we put up the infrastructure, and then that could be a student-run business there, and maybe alternate the students.
That would be amazing. Yeah, let's talk about that. We can all connect on that. For sure.
Okay, let's, Frank. Say that.
Say it again for the microphone, people at home.
We were just saying, so we have space at the credit union for if somebody wanted to do a student-run pop-up for one of the dine-arounds, or we would also pay for a space at the farmer's market if there was one available and have that run by students. Like, you handle all the student part, but we would be happy to sponsor that as well.
No, absolutely. I think that's a great opportunity for sure. And next year, the business class is doing a business 2 class. And so they'll have even more opportunities for some of the more advanced students. So it could be a really great partnership. We love that. We'll talk more about that. I'll bring in Rachel for the makers hookers. Yeah. I heard. Bill, did you have a question? No. Okay. Anyone else? All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Okay, so we have a few minutes before 9 o'clock if you need to leave at 9. Please help yourself to some coffee and donuts. And, we have the raffle. Woohoo! This is for a $25 gift card to Alhambra. Ready? Ooh, there's a lot of raffle. Okay, the last 3 numbers are 110 for a $25 gift card for Alhambra. 110. 110. Going once. Going twice. Okay, let's see. Up. Eric's got it. Okay, that was closer. Okay, thank you everybody for coming, and hopefully we'll see you on June 11th when we have our annual meeting. You'll get to hear about all things NRBBA and why we want to volunteer. Thank you.